What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Ten unbelievable Wednesday details you never noticed. In the middle of the week, do you feel stuck? Do you have weekend dreams? With this interesting Wednesday trivia, we'll help you get through the tough part. After months of painful teasing, Tim Burton's latest twisted masterpiece, Wednesday, finally debuted on November 23rd. Horror, fantasy, coming-of-age, and coming-of-age-themed sitcom featuring Wednesday Addams of the Addams Family was an instant hit and held the top spot on the streamer's list of the top 10 shows in the United States for the duration of its opening weekend. The show, in which Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday Addams, follows the eponymous character as she sets out on her most harrowing voyage yet. A student at her parents' alma mater, the fictional Nevermore Academy, must balance the demanding obligations of a typical adolescent. This entails, but is not limited to, accepting her newly discovered psychic skill, delving into a paranormal mystery, defending a town from supernatural assault, and creating her own group of friends, no outcasts. The eerie atmosphere, stage design, character performances, and story twists in Wednesday have all won accolades. Despite the show's somber facade, there are several minute nuances and references that were purposefully omitted. Did you notice all the Easter eggs or references to the Addams Family movies? Number 1. Fake blood. Jenna Ortega appeared on Zoom to try out for the part of Wednesday Addams. In Wellington, New Zealand, where the horror film X was being filmed, Ortega actually attended an audition for the part of Wednesday. She said in an interview with Wired that the actor got on a Zoom chat with Wednesday executive producer and director Tim Burton immediately after filming her death scene. It was amusing since I had just completed doing that when I met Tim Burton for my audition on Wednesday. Ortega remarked, "I was awake for more than 24 hours, had stage blood and glycerin perspiration in my hair in addition to a severe cut on my face." Ortega added he laughed as I climbed aboard the Zoom, found it funny, thought that was cute. Number 2. Ortega had never played the cello before, despite her brilliant performances. Although Ortega dazzled the audience during her cello scenes, she admitted in her interview with Wired that she had never played the instrument before. Instead, about 2 months prior to the start of filming, Jenna Ortega picked up the cello and started lessons. She even tweeted a number of images from her workouts. In addition to working so much away from home, Ortega stated, "I probably couldn't play too well now, but it is something that I want to continue pursuing. I am quite impressed by cello players. I find it to be such a wonderful instrument." Number 3. Christina Ricci reportedly took Thora Birch's place late in Season 1's filming. Although Ricci easily integrates into the cast of the show as the dorm mom and botany instructor at Nevermore Academy, she really joined near the end of Season 1's filming to take Thora Birch's spot. According to Deadline, according to reports, Birch had finished filming most of her scenes before leaving the program due to a family ailment. In retrospect, it's difficult to envision anybody else playing Ricci's part, and the actor's prior involvement with the Addams Family series makes her selection for the character in Wednesday even more appropriate. Number 4. Throughout the production, Ortega and Ricci were silent about Wednesday's part. Ortega never once talked to Ricci about the role while they were on set together, despite the fact that Ricci had previously portrayed Wednesday in 2 movies in the 1990s. In a conversation with MTV News, Ortega described Ricci as, "I don't believe one of us uttered Wednesday to the other once while she was on site. She didn't want to interfere with my performance or give the impression that she was in charge. But," she added, "I felt like I didn't want to bring up something that she did 30 years ago. For one, for my own benefit, but 2, because I didn't want to take advantage of her. I didn't want to look too much like her." After the episode aired in late November, Ricci has applauded Ortega's performance. In a conversation with Elle in the beginning of December, Ricci said, "Jenna Ortega is amazing. She is incredibly composed, brave and well-suited for the part. She will now get Wednesday off." Number 5. Creating the appearance of a detached limb during the filming of Thing needed some special effects sorcery. Thing, one of the most distinctive and enduring characters in the series, was created by by a team using a combination of human brilliance and magic from visual effects. Victor Dorobantu, an actor and magician from Romania who plays the role of Thing, donned a prosthetic hand that rested on top of his wrist. While filming, Dorobantu further wore a blue chroma key costume and a headpiece. His face and body were removed throughout the editing process to give the appearance of a severed limb. According to the show's visual effects supervisor, Tom Turnbull, it was spectacular as soon as we placed the stump on and completed the sequence. With the transition, the actor vanished from view. It radically altered the playing pitch, and I believe that's what gave Thing its life. Number 6. Ortega choreographed that now viral dance scene at Nevermore Academy herself. In episode 4, Whoa, What a Night, Wednesday's crazy dance routine, in which the pupils of Nevermore Academy attend the yearly Raven dance, is yet another fan favorite scene. When the 1981 song Goo Goo Muck by the Cramps begins to play, Wednesday and her date Tyler, Hunter Dewan, hit the dance floor and show off some impressive routines. Afterwards, according to Ortega, she was the one who choreographed the performance. I created that choreography myself. In an interview with NME, Ortega stated, "It should be clear that I'm not a dancer. I merely used what I could after receiving the tune a week earlier." Number 7. Ortega shot the dance scene while sick with COVID, which she describes as an awful experience. Despite how well-known Wednesday's dance sequence may have been, Netflix has come under fire after Ortega revealed that she had COVID-19 while filming and felt queasy. "It was terrible to film because it was my first day using COVID," Ortega told NME. "Yes, I woke up with the body aches. It's strange, I never feel sick, and when I do, it's not particularly awful." Ortega also said my esophagus felt like it had been scratched by a small goblin that had been let loose in my throat after being hit by a car. As we awaited the positive outcome, they were giving me medicine in between takes. For its part, the series production company, MGM, informed NME that strict COVID standards were followed and the production removed Jenna from set once the positive test was confirmed. Number 8. Emma Myers went to werewolf boot camp to prepare for the role of Enid Sinclair. Myers attended a werewolf boot camp to be ready to play Wednesday's color-loving werewolf roommate Enid Sinclair. According to Myers, this involved myself and a couple other guys crawling around on the floor growling at each other. Myers continued, "That was strange. I'll always remember that." Number 9. Ortega never blinks in any of her scenes because Burton told her not to. If you watch Ortega closely while she's on the screen, you could notice that she never blinks. According to Ortega, Burton made that directing choice a few weeks into the filming of the scene. "Tim instructed me to stop blinking after I performed a take in which I did not blink at all during the first few weeks of filming," Ortega declared. "I didn't even notice I was blinking, which is the thing about it. Every time we started a take, I would reset my face, so it just sort of happened." Tim loved the Kubrick gaze I would give him when I would relax all of my facial muscles and stare through my brows. "Just a little bit frightening. Obviously it struck something with him," Ortega continued, "and I trust his judgment so much because he's Tim Burton." Number 10. The stylish look for Principal Larissa Weems was inspired by 1960s film icon Tippi Hedren. Principal Larissa Weems, Gwendoline Christie, shares the same elevated sense of style as the majority of the other characters in Wednesday. Oscar-winning costume designer Colleen Atwood heavily drew inspiration from Hedren and her noteworthy performance in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds while creating Weems' outfits for Season 1. Atwood said how she presented Christie with the idea. "I got this vintage poster of Tippi Hedren in The Birds, and I gave her a picture of it," adding that she saw Weems as her own type of misfit, in a very different manner. "When I told her, 'This is who I think you are,' she responded, 'I adore it.'" That concludes our examination of 10 amazing Wednesday tidbits that you might not have known about. We hope you've enjoyed learning more about this frequently ignored day of the week, whether you're superstitious or just curious. What additional surprises could Wednesday have in store? Keep your eyes peeled and your thoughts curious till next time.